I would like to welcome everyone to Nexternal's webinar. My name is Carl Falconer. I'm the founder of PackageBee. And today we're going to talk about automated order fulfillment with Nexternal's e-commerce platform. So just to give you a little background about myself, I am a technologist. That means I really enjoy technology. I like working with new products and building things and solving problems. And I'm actually drawn particularly to the e-commerce space because it is changing so rapidly. And there are lots of new and exciting things that are happening in the online e-commerce space that is just very challenging and very interesting to me. And so, you know, over the past few years, as e-commerce has grown, you've gotten these companies like Nexternal and sort of tangential businesses like MailChimp and even to an extent maybe HubSpot that have really accelerated that e-commerce being able to leverage and grow and scale their business in such a way that it's very cost effective. There's no more of this pay giant gobs of money to start to build me a website. You can get up and running in a reasonable amount of time. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, and that's sort of how PackageBee was born, based off the current landscape of all of these great software companies that exist on the web. What I found is it's very difficult to get these services to talk to each other. So you might have your Nexternal website and a third-party logistics center that's located halfway across the country, and you need them to exchange data with each other. They're actually using a different software package than you're using, and you know, you've got this challenge of how do I make these systems talk to each other? And that's the core of what PackageBee is trying to do. We're trying to lower that barrier for merchants wanting to work with third-party fulfillment centers. Because I understand technology and you know, that's one of the things that we do, we try very, very hard to make the process as simple as possible. And so today I want to just give you a short demo of how you would actually use the service to actually connect a Nexternal store to a third-party logistics center. So I'll jump into the demo right now. So before a merchant would sign up for PackageBee, we would provide a consultation to ensure that their particular fulfillment center was compatible with our platform. In most cases, right now we support 12 different fulfillment centers across the US and one location in Canada. If your fulfillment center wasn't one of those 12 partner companies, we could definitely look into adding support for your warehouse. Turnaround time is anywhere between 7 to 10 days, and you could be up and running. So when you log into the application, there's very few things that you actually have to do to connect your Nexternal store to your warehouse. One of the first things you would do is actually add a connection to your store. And here we see that our demo application is already set up with 2 existing stores. One is a bogus store and one is Amazon Marketplace. The very neat thing about PackageBee is that we have connections to not only Nexternal, but additional marketplaces. Those orders would get funneled through our system to your logistics center in the same way as your Nexternal store. We support Amazon Marketplace, Sears Marketplace, and Rakuten, formerly Buy.com, for marketplaces. Adding a connection to a store is as simple as clicking the Add Store button and selecting the appropriate platform. So we're going to pick an external store, and we're just going to give it a name, and we're going to create the store. We see that we've added a new store to our account, and all we need to do is insert our account name and API key, which your Nexternal account manager will be able to get you pretty quickly. So once our store is there and we've updated the credentials, we can simply click the Enable button and enable the connection to the store. At this point, the automation kicks in and the background system will start looking for orders from your store every 15 minutes. And as soon as orders are available to pull in to your fulfillment center, Dropstream will pull those orders in and send them right away. The entire process takes about 15 seconds from the moment the order was imported to the time that the order has reached the destination at the warehouse. The other portion of the setup process is simply to configure the credentials for your warehouse management third-party fulfillment center's warehouse management system. And in this case, they will supply you with some a username, password, and maybe some other identifying materials that would be dependent on your particular warehouse. And so we can see here that there are some pre-existing values here where this particular warehouse is set up to work with Jagged Peak. And this is the information for their demo account. And so I click Update, and very similar to the store, I can enable or disable the connection to the warehouse. And the merchant or the user is very much in control of that flow of orders back and forth. So when an order makes it to the warehouse, that's only part of the overall workflow. We can take a quick look here at one of the orders. We can see the date that the order was placed. We can see the billing and the shipping address. We can see what was ordered. And at this point, since the order is new, it doesn't have any shipping details. However, once the item has been shipped from the warehouse, Dropstream or PackageBee will pick up that information, the tracking number. If we take a look at this order here, we've got a tracking number and we've got the carrier and the ship date. That information is pushed back into your marketplace, in this case, a Nexternal store. And that whole process happens automatically. There's nothing for you to do to make that happen. It just goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In addition to the order sync, the system will also update inventory from your WMS third-party logistics center directly to your Nexternal store, so that if orders happen to be coming from multiple channels, you've got a call center and phone orders are coming in and they're not coming through the website, using something like PackageBee will allow you to keep inventory levels in sync so you don't accidentally sell a product on your website that has been allocated to someone who ordered over the phone. So that is our fairly short demo. Like I said earlier, we try to keep this as simple as possible, and I think it doesn't really get much simpler than that for the amount of complexity that's actually going on underneath. So I am actually ready to open up for any questions, and looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say. I have a few prepared questions that I can answer while you guys are typing in the chat window. And let me just make sure I can see all of the questions. Okay. So obviously one of the questions that I get pretty often is, how much does something like this cost? And the answer to that question is, well, it kind of depends. On our website, we list clearly our pricing structure, and the way that it's set up is dependent on your particular fulfillment center. So if you're using one of our in-network fulfillment centers, which we list here, FullX Logistics, Fulfilltopia, Verde Fulfillment, Sweetwater, we have special relationships with these warehouses, and you as the merchant will not be charged for the integration. If, for example, you're using Fulfillment by Amazon or Saddle Creek Logistics, there would be a fee of $49 per month. And if you wanted a connection to a warehouse that we do not currently support or isn't listed here, it would just be a flat fee of $99 per month, which would include the cost of the integration. All right. So I see another question here asking about, excuse me, how reliable is the service? So our platform is running on Amazon's cloud computing service. So what that means is we've got built-in redundancy and we've got built-in scaling to handle large order volumes. We're able to switch data centers fairly quickly in the event that there's some natural disaster on the East Coast, and we can move our data center to the West Coast and still are able to process orders and keep things running smoothly. Right now, the system is processing fairly close to about 3,000 orders a month, and we're looking to bring on a few larger merchants and get that order volume running high. This upcoming Christmas season should be a pretty busy time for us. We're expecting order volumes to reach into 7, 8, 9, 10,000 orders over between November and December. So we're definitely looking forward to that, and our system is ready to handle those types of challenges. So it looks like there might be a few people trying to ask a question over the phone, and I believe the audio is actually disabled. So if you could type in your question to either the chat window or I think there's a questions window, I'll be able to see your question. I have another question here. What if I want to handle some order fulfillment in-house? So one of the things that our system is set up to do is to actually, it has a fairly sophisticated rules engine, and the system can be set up to do quite a few things with these rules, but in terms of handling partial in-house fulfillment and some third-party fulfillment, what you can do is set up a rule that would say if someone orders this particular SKU, that order should go to the warehouse. If they don't order this particular SKU, then it's not going to go to the warehouse. And so you can filter things based on the SKU level, and we're going to actually expand that. We've had a request recently to be able to expand that to other fields in the order. So, for example, we might want to not send any international orders to our fulfillment center. And that would be a feature that would be available in the next few weeks. So that is a little glimpse into how the rules work. I'll put my contact info up again in case anyone wants to reach out after the webinar. My name is Carl Falconer, and my email and phone number are available on the screen. And if you can't get that, I'm sure someone at Nexternal as well would be able to forward along my contact information if you have any additional questions. I will hang out a little bit more, see if any lingering questions come through. And other than that, I think that is the end of the webinar. Craig, did you have any comments, or did you want to wrap things up, or?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you showing our clients how PackageBee works, and for an external clients, if you do have a scenario where I am looking to outsource fulfillment, and I really want to have that integration just be simple and rock solid between Nexternal and my fulfillment center, so that my third-party fulfillment center gets that data automatically, and they update the system automatically without me having to import and export files. PackageBee is awesome for that, so I definitely suggest contacting Carl if you have that requirement. So thanks everybody for joining us today.
All right. Thank you very much, Craig. Thank you, everyone, for joining.